Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. We are very happy that you are with us. If today is the first time you are visiting with us, we want to extend to you a very warm welcome and invite you to watch any of our over 540 videos arranged for your convenience in playlists, as we are confident you're going to find something both useful and entertaining to watch. If you have been here before, welcome back. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. Some time ago we built a very nice, what we'll call that, coffee table or end table?
End table type, yeah.
And I'm going to put the card up there if you want to go and see that episode. And we have decided we realized immediately we didn't like the legs we put in it just doesn't fit the scale or the style of the piece. So today we're going to remove them and we're going to replace them with new legs. And thankfully, they are easily removable. We made them screw into the wood, so here it is, and we can use them in another project potentially, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to do another build today, and that will be a rustic, nautical kind of theme towel holder. And we're going to show you that as well. So stick around. 2 projects, one afternoon. We're going to have some fun, right, Elpida?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's get started. So at this point, we lost audio for some reason, and we apologize for that. But we're going to build today those 2 projects. The legs for our existing table that simply didn't match the style. And as you can see here, the old legs were just too small and not fitting the rustic style of the table we've made. And also, this is a good opportunity to show you how to make this great design that will allow you to even encase a pipe or a support for your house or your garage. If you have one of those metal red pipes that support the ceiling above. The same technique will be used, it's just going to be a larger item. So unfortunately my mouth will not match my speech here. We do have the second item we're going to build today. As you can see here, it is a very rustic and ultimate nautical theme towel holder. And those 2 projects, we plan to make them in the same afternoon. We'll start with the table legs, and then we're going to move on to the next project, which is the towel holder. So stick around and we're going to show you exactly how to build both of these. So a few episodes ago, we created a stop that we can move around and just clamp it to our bench here. And with our zero clearance tape on the miter saw, we can set the exact distance we want, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to have to make many cuts, I think 16 total.
Yes.
They're all 18 inches though, so that will make it easy for us to do repetitive cuts and not have to measure ever again, right?
Right.
For this episode, not ever again.
Yeah, but for this one.
Otherwise, we only do 18-inch projects.
That could be your new channel.
Right,
All
yeah.
projects 18 inches.
All the time. All right, so we're going to do some cutting.
Okay.
And it looks like we can get one more here if you wanted to.
Oh, we sure could. Go ahead.
Okay, you want to cut it?
Let's go ahead and do another one, and then I'll save it a larger piece on another board.
Okay, so we're going to set up and do the assembly of the first leg. So this will be a pocket screw project because it makes the project easy and quick, right? So we've set up the jig.
Well, this is for the installation portion of it.
Right, what do you mean? No, this is the building process. We haven't installed anything yet.
Yeah, but we're not. So
Am I mic'd?
I'm mic'd. Yeah, I'm mic'd. So go ahead.
All right, so we are going to put the pocket screws now. We're not going to make the legs using pocket screws, but we're going to attach the legs using pocket screws to the table. So because this will be wider when we're done, we want to do it now so we have the advantage of doing it easier.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently my thing
You
needs
need a battery on a drill to make it work.
How dare it?
It's like that pesky electricity when you don't plug something in,
I know.
right? There we go. Yay!
It works
Okay.
when you have power, right?
And so for these legs, I'm going to show 2 of the sides are going to be on the exterior walls, so we're not doing screws there. We are going to do Kreg screws on these 2 sections. There's going to be one that goes down and one that goes to the sidewall. And for this one, there will be one that goes down and one that goes to the sidewall. So now he's turned the board to do that orientation for the side. Okay, and let's see what those look like. Oh,
And I will not interfere because one goes this way. We just need to empty there. So that one goes this way and that goes that way.
Mm-hmm. Stop moving so fast.
Well, I need to empty the...
Yeah.
But anyway, you see it? There and there.
There and there. Okay. And we only have to do that to 2 boards, but the other board has to be oriented the other way because it goes...
Right.
Okay. All right. So we'll finish that up and then we're going to start the leg assembly.
All right. So here is our first finished leg. And as you can see here, the seam is almost invisible. I'm putting it here on my finger where the seam is, and it is very hard to locate it, which shows you that when you take a little bit of care, you can have excellent results. And we're showing you the other seams as well with similar results, except here where there is a mistake, not a mistake, a defect on the wood. And there you can actually see it, but still you cannot see the seam. You just can see that the piece of wood ends there. A very nice outcome overall. We were very pleased with the leg and the way it came out. And because it is hollow, it allows you to create other things, as we said before, and close a pipe that you want to make it more aesthetically pleasing, for example. And you can see here how we build the leg so it can be a perfect square versus a rectangular. You simply have to alternate the pieces versus having 2 parallel to each other and just attach them. The pocket screw orientation is important because one of the screws that go to the side have to be facing the opposite directions in order to be properly attached. And here we do a dry fit, and as you can see, it fits very nicely on our table. And we are going to build all the legs first and then attach them. But for now, we show you the first impression of how this will look. The length might be a little too long for the table this size, but in our case, it gets to fit a specific area that needs to clear an obstacle. So we have very little choice. We have to make it that height. I don't mind it. I think it looks very good, especially since the legs are a little thicker than normal. It adds kind of heaviness to the piece, and I like it, but it is ultimately something you can do differently if you so choose. And you can find online tables that will tell you what is the appropriate height of leg for the dimension of your table, or simply you can experiment and see what looks good to you. That is not really a very difficult or very complex situation. In our case, it's dictated from the space we're going to put it, so we are going with this specific size that we are showing to you. Now, this is not a difficult process, but you're going to have to be very diligent when you build the legs and make sure that they're the correct size, that they're all consistent, all the pieces. Each leg requires 4 pieces, and we use 1x3 boards, so all pieces have to be the same dimension so the legs do not look weird and on top of each other. Okay, and here we are ready to start the rest of the legs. We cut all the pieces, we have them here. They're all the same dimension, and we worked to make the process kind of streamlined by cutting all the pieces we need at the same time. So now all we have to do is to assemble the pieces for the remaining 3 legs. And we're going to show you in detail how to do one of the legs. It is important to make sure that when you make your pocket screws, you do them correctly. You choose what face you want to sew, and keep in mind that this is an exception. You're going to put your pocket screws on the face that will actually sew, because the pocket screws will be hidden by the apron of the table itself. So you make the first pocket hole, and then you rotate it to the side to make the one that it is 90 degrees to the first one. The first one will go to the top of the table, and the other one will go to the side of the apron, right?
Right, so on the second board, you rotate it the opposite way.
You rotate it the different direction, and then you repeat that. You need to do half of the boards with pocket screws and half of the boards without, right?
Yeah.
Now we're going to show you how to put one of the legs together. You start by making an L, right, Elpida?
Yes.
And here we chose the 2 boards that have the pocket screws on, and you put them together like this. It's important that you make sure that both are in the same side, otherwise it will be a mess, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we use Titebond 3 glue here, even though this will not be an external project. Actually, we use our Titebond 2, so we. What?
And using my finger just to spread that out and minimize any of the squeeze out on the glue.
It is the best tool to achieve that.
Yeah.
Then you're going to align them, and here this is easier when you have 2 people, but we wanted to show you that you can do it with 1 person as well. Elpida is going to do it by herself just to demonstrate that. But you align one side, and then you're going to put a clamp. This is an instance that you want medium-sized clamps, right? You don't want the largest clamps you can
Right.
find. And then she's going to align the other side as well, and similarly put another clamp on it. And now we should be able to double check everything and hit a couple of brad nails that will act as permanent clamps to let the glue dry while allow us to continue the construction. And I know now you're spared the wonderful sound of the glue gun, right? Not the glue gun.
The glue gun, yes.
The glue
The
gun,
glue gun is so loud. It's the nail gun.
which everyone loves to listen to. But as you can see, we can immediately remove the clamps because,
Now they're held in place.
right, they are not going anywhere. And
Here I had a little bit of a gap there, so I put the clamp back on to try and compress it there before putting another brad nail in place.
And even though we tried to be very careful with choosing our boards, it's almost unavoidable. It will not be perfect. If we wanted it to be perfect, we could put it on the planer or the joiner, but we chose not to. That was enough for us, right? I mean, not to,
Yeah.
not to belittle it, but it will be an okay situation for our purposes.
Yeah.
And now that you have that L-looking shape, by the way, this could be a leg too, right? If you wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Totally could. If you just wanted something a little more
Right.
modern looking and open.
I just realized that watching in editing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so now we're gluing up the next piece to keep going on the round. Once again, just spreading out that glue to minimize how much is going to squeeze out. And part of the reason you want to minimize that squeeze out, at least for me, is because when you get it on the exterior board, it can affect the way your finish goes, depending on how you're choosing to finish the boards.
Well, unless you paint it, I mean, stain will
show it.
right. Stain will show it very, very well. And again, take your time here to align it as perfectly as you can. I mean, nothing is perfect, but
Right.
the better job you do on this, and again, this is so much easier with 2 people, right?
Yeah, it is easier with 2 people. Obviously, 4 hands can hold things much better than just the 2. But with all the boards cut to the same length because of the stop that we used, then everything went together very, very nicely.
Yeah, all our legs came out really well. We were very pleased with the overall structure of the legs. And you see a little bit of a blowout in the middle of our board.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's unavoidable when you use long brad nails, but it is very easy to fix. And one of these days we'll show you how to fix those blowouts that will become totally imperceptible, right?
Right.
So now we have our last piece.
Oh, we still gotta put this one together. Yeah.
I was in a hurry here.
Yeah, you are. All I did was glue and clamp, and so now I'm just tacking it into place and trying to, again, avoid any blowout on these. So placing it a little more carefully.
But again, once you're done, you can remove the clamps immediately.
And then you can decide if you need any additional brad nails in the middle just to hold it together.
By far, this is our favorite tool. We use it, I would say, in every project
I
we've
think
built.
we've used it on every single project.
And there were some projects that was the main way that we attach things together, right?
Yeah.
Again, it'll be that remove a little bit of squeeze out.
But the seams are coming together very, very nicely here. And they're really almost imperceptible. And once I did some sanding on them, it was very hard to tell that we even had seams there.
Yeah, it is a very
And
good.
there, I'm rotating the board just to see what fitment might work best. And then just to make sure they align. And there we had some, it chipped off as we were cutting it. And we were trying to figure out where it came from. And that was the spot.
But we didn't see it when it would happen. It was like, where this piece came from?
Yes. And so just to keep that hidden, I put that on the inside there. So it won't be visible at all on this leg.
And I never cease to be surprised by how great dimensional lumber looks, right? I mean, look at these pieces and the
it had
detail.
really
and
nice grain in it.
really, really amazing. Very pleased. And as you can see, it's just methodical. It is a little repetitive because you have to make 4 legs. And this is our second, I believe, or our third, you know. We wanted to show you in detail how we did it so you can follow the steps. You can see the pattern here of how the pieces go together to create a perfect square. So now we're going to start on our second project. And for this project, we needed weathered wood. And instead of going out and buy expensive weathered wood, we went to our backyard, right? And we found a nice old, nicely weathered pallet. And we're working on it, getting some pieces out to use for our next project. And this is so neat because you're going to see how you will take something that most people will throw away and make something really nice looking and very useful from it, right? And as you can see here, our jigsaw did a very quick work of it, and we have 4 pieces that we decided we're going to use to work on our next piece. And if we need something more, we'll come out and do it. Back in the shop, and we're going to do a little bit of sanding. So we're going to clean the dirt. Again, this was out in the weather for over a year. And we need to clean a little bit of the dirt. It has a lot of dirt on it. And again, it will be an indoors item when we finish. So we want it to be nice, and we want it rustic, and we want it weather, but we don't want it yucky. That's the technical term.
Yucky, the technical term?
Yeah, that is the term everyone uses.
You don't want all the dirt from the outside in there. You just want it to look weathered.
I mean, you can see how the dirt comes off.
Yeah, it's just flying off there.
So this is really not sanding the wood, it's sanding the dirt off. A different approach to sanding. And at the same time, Elpida was working in sanding her legs. Oh, you were sanding your
my
leg?
legs, yeah.
Wow, was that painful?
It was.
And Miss Wizard is sanding a piece that we cut in half because it served better the vision we had for the piece. And that is really, other than the jigsaw, the only cut we did on those pieces, right? Other than cutting them from the pallet, that's the only other cutting activity we did
Right.
with those pieces. So overall, it went pretty nicely. And here we're showing you our first dry fit for the towel holder, which is what we're making. If we have not mentioned it yet, I think we have. And we're looking at the dimensions, we're looking at the symmetry or lack of. We wanted this piece to be rather organic, correct?
Yeah.
We didn't want everything to look straight, and we just wanted to look like a weathered piece of a boat or something like that, not something that we bought at the store. So we spent a little time looking at it. We definitely like the look of the wood, and we're looking to make sure we like the overall appearance of the
spacing of the boards and placement
and those things don't have a right and wrong approach. This is totally an individual taste thing, right?
right. It's what did you want the project to look like?
But it is amazing how you can take something that has been out in the weather for over a year and make something looking totally different out of it. So here we are. we are using a little bit of a, what do you call that? I forgot.
The
I keep
countersink?
forgetting. Yeah, the countersink. And if you notice here, I've put the boards over the channel of my saw. So if the drill happened to come out on the other side, it wouldn't damage my saw.
Right.
And you might see here just below the drill, there is the wood has cracked a little bit. So the countersinking helps you from avoiding any more cracking. This is delicate wood. Again, it has been weathered for quite some time.
Right.
And screws can damage it.
Right, but that cracking is really part of the character that you're looking for
Right,
by
yeah.
using this weathered wood. You just don't want to crack it further by your construction and placing
Right.
things together.
And it has the look we want, so we are very pleased overall with this look.
Oh yeah, came together very, very well.
And we're also trying, usually we try to be very symmetrical, very precise. And on this piece, we were trying almost the opposite, right? We wanted some randomness on it. We
A
wanted,
little bit, yeah. Hmm.
I think it makes it more organic. Again, I use the word organic.
Hmm.
Now, this will not be outside, so these screws are going to be fine. They're not galvanized, but,
Right.
and we're probably going to spray it with a poly.
A clear finish just to help preserve it.
We're going to do the same on the other side, and that will be the end of the construction. Here you see our cleats. Isn't that what they're called?
Uh-huh.
And they're actually sailboat cleats. These are not pretend or whatever you want to
Right.
call them. And believe it or not, they're cheaper than when you buy the cleats that they are made for furniture and things like that. And they're the real thing. Go figure, right? They were $2 or $3 a piece, not very expensive at all. And we kind of use screws that they don't clearly match. Again, giving that piece you kind of put it together.
Uh-huh.
What you will call it?
Found parts.
Yeah, found parts look. Technically, you should use bolts for that when you use it on a boat.
Right, but this is not a boat. This is just going to be for holding towels up. And we did a little bit of a up and down jagged placement. I can't think of the right word. But not just completely straight across and even. But we did want them evenly spaced so that there's plenty of room for each towel. And now they're going to be.
But we took some time to make sure we like how they look.
Yeah,
the-
we wanted the placement to be nice and appealing still.
And there are a lot of things you can do here. You can put more, you can put less, you can spread them over the board. On the top board, we plan to put some detail. You can use a stencil. Yeah, we're going to use our laser and put some nautical theme. You can paint it, you can engrave it. I mean, there are a lot
Or
of
as
things
you
that
like
you
to
can do.
say, hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge, yeah.
Mod
Hodgepodge.
Podge.
Mod
you could,
Podge,
you
yeah.
could do some sort of image on there, or
Well-
you could paint something on there. I mean, there's
mean,
a
if
lot
you
of
have-
options.
If you have nothing else, you can get a picture from a magazine and just
Right, put it on there, or
Yeah.
you could use like a rope, like nautical rope, and do a knot in there.
yeah. There are many options here, and the sky is the limit, as they
Right.
say.
Yeah,
So,
whatever you can imagine.
so with this piece finished, we're going to move on and attach the legs on our table. And again, because we plan it, we are ready. We don't need to do anything but use the pocket screws and attach the leg to both the bottom and the top of the table. This has made them very, very sturdy. Wouldn't you agree, Elpida? I mean,
Oh yeah, they were very solid. I wasn't concerned at all. There was no movement, so I was not concerned about them coming apart or making the table wobbly at all.
you can definitely put glue where the leg touches
The skirt, but
the skirt, but Elpida wanted them to be removable because Elpida likes to change things every now and then.
well, and I haven't quite decided on what that finish is going to be for the legs to match with the already stained top part. So I want to be able to take them off when I'm ready to do that.
And again, if for some reason it becomes less stable, you can remove them, put glue on it, and reattach them, and they will be absolutely perfect. And here we are, the finished piece. I think it looks absolutely great. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, very solid, and the legs match the top part of the table much better in scale.
And look.
Yes.
I mean, the other legs were more elegant, but they were not really fitting that piece.
Right.
And if you have checked, legs are very expensive, so these save you a lot of money.
Yeah, I think when I bought those legs originally, they were like $12 or $13 a piece, I want to say.
And we spent like $14 or $15
For all
for
of
3
these.
pieces of,
Yeah, for all of these.
So as I was saying, we definitely like the look much more than this. It wasn't really fitting. These are nice legs, but it wasn't fitting this piece of furniture. And our cost, again, in our area was about $15. And what we used to make these beautiful legs is actually 1x3s, correct? And if we were to buy the 4x4 that this would be much more expensive.
Yeah.
If we were to buy an 8-foot 4x4. And it looks like a 4x4, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
it has a lot of dimension to it. So we're very, very happy with this. It came out very nice. And as I said, we are very, very sturdy, very pleased with it. And we might use similar techniques to create a bench in the future.
It would definitely is lighter than it would be if you had made it with 4x4s because of the hollow core.
Right, yeah. Still, it's a substantial
Oh
piece
yeah,
of furniture.
It's
got some weight to it.
And of course, our second project was the towel rack, and here it is. A lot of opportunity to change that or improve it if you want. We really like the way it looks. We built some unevenness to it on purpose, like this. We didn't forget, we didn't want to make it straight.
It's
We-
supposed to look like some wood from a shipwreck or something
Right.
or other, distressed.
So we're very pleased with both projects. These both took us an afternoon to build, right? And the cost for this was only the cleats. And Miss Wizard,
I think they were about $3 a piece.
all right, so it's not as significant. And I bet you if you look at on Etsy or something like that, we could sell this for probably $75, $100 easy, right?
Yep.
So maybe that should be our next exit price, start selling things. So you save money, you make it as you want. This table, for example, we couldn't buy to fit our space because tables don't come in any height you want, right?
Or even a customized dimension.
Right.
Well, and that's one of the issues that we ran into with the legs because we bought pre-turned legs the
Right.
first time and they really weren't appropriate for the
Right.
table. So build it yourself.
So overall, we are happy with how everything turned out. Would you say if you weren't filming and you were just focused 4 hours to build both?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we really streamlined our cutting. We cut all our pieces first, and that definitely saved us time. But filming adds some time, and really, it is not that long. I mean, we are at 5 hours now with filming and actually having to go to the store because we ran out of screws.
Right. Oh.
Embarrassing. But anyway, it is two pieces, 4 hours. I think it's a great thing, right?
Yeah. Well, we didn't build the entire table, just the legs.
Right,
but
that's what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
Yep.
The legs, yeah. All right, folks. We do hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Share, like, subscribe if you're not done so. It really helps our channel. And let us know in the detail down below if there is something that you want us to like. Okay, that messed up. If there is something you would like us to see build. From Dr. Wizard,
Like to see us build.
okay, say it. You say it.
If there's something you would like to see us build, please put it in the comments
Put
below.
your request in.
Yeah.
Right. From the Garage Wizard, Elpida, Mrs. Wizard, and the Urban Homesteading channel, stay safe, wash your hands, put your masks on, and we're going to see you soon with a short episode midweek. Friends, farewell, stay safe.